Okay, so today we're going to review lines, equations of lines, and graphs of lines. And one pretty important part of lines is the slope of that line. Slope describes how fast the line either rises as we go to the right or declines as we go to the right. So the first thing we're going to talk about is the slope formula, how you find the slope of a line through 2 points. And right up here is that formula. Notice how I have it written two different ways. The big thing to remember with slope is that you subtract the y coordinates on top, the x coordinates on the bottom. So when we look at A here, the two y coordinates, those are the ones that come second in the ordered pair, which are 7 and 4. So the slope of the line through this point, we can subtract those y coordinates um, on top. And the reason I have it twice here is because it doesn't matter what order you do the subtraction in. So first, on the top, I'm going to take 7 minus 4 and subtract that. Now, this is where it gets a little bit tricky, and here's where the order does matter. On the bottom, we're going to subtract the x coordinates, and the x coordinates are the -3 and the -2, and this is where the order that you do it in does matter. Since we started with 7 on top, we need to start with its partner, or the -3 on the bottom. So we need to start with -3. We start with that x coordinate, then we're going to subtract the other x coordinate minus a -2. Okay? So now we just do the arithmetic, 7 minus 4, that's 3. On the bottom, -3 minus -2 becomes -3 plus a +2. Minus a negative is the same as plus a positive. So that becomes -1. And we can simplify that to -3. Now, just to show that it doesn't matter, the order doesn't matter, I'm going to do it a second way. And in the second method, I'm going to, instead of taking the 7 minus the 4 on top, I'm going to take 4 minus 7. Okay. Still working with those two y coordinates, but different order. Now, this once again is where the order does matter. Since I started with 4 on top, I need to start with its partner on the bottom. So we're going to start with -2 minus -3. And then we do the arithmetic. 4 minus 7 is -3. And then on the bottom we have -2 minus -3, which becomes -2 plus a +3, which leaves us with 1 in the denominator and -3. Got the same slope either way. Again, make sure that if you start with a y coordinate on the top, you need to start with its partner x coordinate on the bottom. That's where the order matters. Okay? So I just did that to show you that it doesn't matter which one you start with. So in the remaining slope formula examples, I am going to just do it one way, but keep in mind it doesn't matter which way you do this. Now in B, something special happens. The two y coordinates, 1 and 1, we subtract those on the top. Now they're both the same, but I started with this one, so I'm going to start with its partner on the bottom, 3 minus -4. So then on the top, when we do the arithmetic, 1 minus 1 is 0. And 3 minus -4 again becomes plus a +4. So we end up with 7. And 0 divided by anything is a slope of 0. Well, what does a slope of 0 mean? Now, a lot of you remember from Algebra 1 that a positive slope means a line goes up and to the right. Negative slope means a line goes down and to the right. But slope of 0, if we take a quick look at the line through these 2 points, if I would just sketch the point 3, 1, and -4, 1, and sketch that line, I would see that that is a horizontal line. So a slope of 0 means that the line through those 2 points is horizontal. Okay? Now, the next example we have is another special case for this. Again, calculating the slope. Again, I subtract the y coordinates, which are the second ones in the ordered pair. Subtract those on top. So I'll take -3 minus 1. Now, since I started with the -3 on top, I'm going to start with its partner, or the 7 in the denominator. Minus 7. And in this case, on top, -3 minus 1 is -4. 7 minus 7 is 0. Now, you can never divide by 0, which we will talk about in class why you cannot. Whenever you try to divide by 0, that quotient does not exist. So therefore, we say that our slope is undefined. Okay? Because you can't divide by 0. Now, if we take a quick look and see what kind of line gives us an undefined slope, if we were to plot these 2 points, 7, -3, let's put that about there, and 7, 1, right about there, we would see that we have a vertical line. So any vertical line has a defined slope because there is no change in the x-coordinates. Finally, the last example of this, finding the slope, and again, I will only do this the one way. Again, it doesn't matter. I will subtract the y-coordinates on top. So 4 minus 1 on top, and since I started with the 4 on top, I need to start with its partner on the bottom. And 5 minus 8. So doing the arithmetic, 4 minus 1 is 3. 5 minus 8 is -3, which reduces to -1 for the slope. And the next example, oh, we've got 2 more slope examples. I apologize, 2 more that we can get down. The next example, again, slope. Subtract the y-coordinates on top, 2 minus -2. Since I started with the positive 2 on the top, I need to start with its partner on the bottom. And again, doing the arithmetic, 2 minus -2 becomes 2 plus +2, which is 4. Same thing on the bottom. 2 minus -2 becomes 2 plus +2 over 4, which reduces to 1. And last but not least, f, slope. We subtract the y-coordinates on top, 3 minus -4. Since we started with the 3 on the top, we need to start with its partner on the bottom. And -9. 3 minus -4 again becomes 3 plus +4, which is 7. 9 minus 9, 0. Again, we have that special case where 0 is in the denominator. Cannot divide by 0, so our slope is undefined. Which means we have a vertical line. Okay. The next video will talk about slope-intercept form of a line.